Hi everybody, it's the RetroYuuki with a special Friday edition of the RetroYuuki Roundup show for this week on April the 1st, 2022. I am your host for this show, and we're going to go over what's going to happen in the next few weeks as we prepare to go back to our home on YouTube. For the last few months, for the last few weeks, we have been on Facebook and YouTube, but we are going to transition back into YouTube only starting next week, after next week actually, because we have a little bit of a special edition next week. So let's show you guys what's going to happen. So if you guys have been paying attention on the channel, we have a new structure. First, there are two types of character structure. You have the Francis and Luna, and you have the Shadow. So what is going on here? So there are two separate playlist groups. The first one is a game that this character or characters are playing right now. The second one is the one where I promote all games or the characters are playing. So the current one is actually starting at 2:30, 2:45 this afternoon, and we're gonna have Return to Dinosaur Land, which is a Super Mario World ROM hack by Rag B, and I just gave you a premiere video, a little preview an hour ago. Make sure you guys check that out so I'll give you a little preview of how this ROM hack works. Because the level I show off, it's actually a pretty cool mechanic with Yoshi. So we're gonna take a look at that. Then we have the live episode starting at 2:45, and then tonight at 9:15 for our late show. Okay. Shadow has one game on his belt, and he's about to get another one next week, Resident Evil 7. So same thing with Francis and Luna. Shadow is gonna get his games on his own corner. Now I've been wondering, why does Shadow not have a partner yet? Well, I've been thinking about it, and by default, I'm gonna make this a little default. By default, Shadow's partner is Infinite the Jackal. I'm just gonna drop it in there. I'm only doing that because Francis has a partner now. Why can't Shadow have one? So there you go. Francis has a partner, his sister Luna. So Shadow has his own partner, and I'm going to play Infinite. Because why not? But what happened to Amy? Amy can be a wild card. She can appear with Francis and Luna and Shadow and Infinite. Because Amy technically does not have a partner yet. Okay, and yes, I know Roots the Bat is part of this channel, but what can I put her with? That's the question. Indie games? Maybe. And then we have our VR chat section. Next one is going to be on Thursday of next week, and then Saturday with Shadow. We have our Project Yuki section for you. If you guys want to keep up with how I'm developing my ROM hack, that's for you guys. And if you guys want to learn how to use Lunar Magic to make a ROM hack, that is for you. Now, reaction videos are going to take a little bit of a pause as we have a little bit of a little dilemma. You see, there is a little bit of copywriting going on, although not on my channel yet, with some of these videos of reaction videos. Claiming copyright claim. Now, technically it doesn't hurt your channel, but if you're trying to make monetization, it will. Channels with a copyright claim will not be able to make money on said video. Okay, now my purpose of these reaction videos is for entertainment purposes only. The latest one I did was the one with Terios and Shadina. And yes, Shadina is my favorite character. Don't ask me why, she just is. Oh, actually, there is one reason why. She's cute. Anyway, moving on. That's what's going on with reaction videos. I'll talk about if I'm going to return to reaction videos on Sunday. So stay tuned. And then the channels I react to, that's a self-explanatory section. Coming up now, we're going to take a look at the community tab. And on this community tab, we have two polls for you. Mostly polls, well, except for one, because there was just a vote in play now. So what is the first poll? The first poll is first big Mario game for Luna and Francis to play, other than Super Mario World ROM hacks and mods. We have Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door in the lead with 60%, Super Mario Sunshine at 20, and Super Mario Bros. 3 at 20. So as of right now, we're gonna play Paper Mario 2000 Year Door with Francis and Luna. So that will be our first big Mario game. When I say big Mario game, I mean the real OG Mario game, like Paper Mario, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Sunshine. I love ROM hacks though, but we have to go back to the what made the channel where it is. I have played Paper Mario for you in the past, but that was when I first started streaming. Now we're gonna do it for you with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. And then how do you guys want me to title videos where Francis and Luna are playing? And you guys have selected Francis and Luna Plays with an S at 83% of the vote, and I had a feeling this was gonna win. The other variant is Team Moonlight Plays, because you guys have selected that both of them, Francis and Luna, are Team Moonlight. So that's what I'm gonna do for merch. Team Moonlight or Francis and Luna are gonna be Team Moonlight. So at 83%, Francis and Luna plays. Okay, that's it for the community tab. Now let's talk about some other stuff. First off, if you guys follow me on Facebook on RetroYuuki, we have an extension to announce. I am proud to announce that we are extending our stay for one more week on Facebook. So that means Facebook and YouTube next week as well. However, after next week, we are done with our little vacation. We're going back to YouTube in 2 weeks. Like we're back, we're still on YouTube, but we're going to stay. We're going to stay in our home on YouTube for a little while. And then I'm going back to our double stream later on in the summer. So we're going to take a little vacation again this summer, if you will. So yeah, we're back on YouTube starting in 2 weeks. Now you may be wondering what's going on. The reason why I'm extending next week is because if you guys know me well, we have a little co-stream planned with some of my streaming buddies on Facebook. This co-stream is very special though, because it's Fortnite and it's with a few more of our streaming buddies in a moderation group. You see, one of my streaming buddies has a little rule that if you are a moderator and you play with him, you are locked into some games. And it turns out that he wants to plan a mod session on Fortnite with the mods. So as one of his moderators, I get to play. So for that particular reason, because he's on Facebook, I have to extend this one more week. But after next week, we are back on YouTube as part of our strategy. Okay, as part of our little streaming area. So our home is YouTube. Our second home is Facebook. Our third home is Twitch. That's how it is. And we're gonna extend our spring break in terms of streaming on Facebook for one more week. There's also one other game I want to promote, and that is Rust. I'll talk about Rust on Sunday, because that game can be a little bit more interesting than it is. Now that we talked about the community tab, let's talk about one other thing you may have missed in the last few months, from the last few weeks, and that is the rings. So, what happened to the rings? technically it's still alive. But there is a restructure. As you see on the board, we have the rewards from Streamlabs. And as you can see, I have not changed them yet. We have some new rewards to offer, and I would like to introduce to you them now. Well, it's not on the board yet. I have some new rewards. If you guys know me well, I would love to give you guys early access to stuff. And I am happy to announce that one of those early access material is going to be my Super Mario Road ROM hack. You get to download it before everybody else in a special link. You are, however, required to have a Dropbox, because I'm going to give you link in Dropbox, and you can download it from there. But it's not free. You have to earn it, and you earn it by earning rings, and you earn rings by joining the stream, and you earn rings also by playing a game. Okay, I'll explain that game in just a moment. So, what happened to the gacha wheel? Well, it's still here, but there's some changes to announce to that. So, if you guys remembered, when I first started this ring system, I had you win the jackpot on the gacha wheel, where you have to spend 300 rings. Now, they call this point, but I call my currency rings. Where you win, you spin the wheel for 300 rings, and then you can earn the jackpot of, like, let's say 41,000 rings. Okay, that's not bad, but there's a reason why I'm going to change the gacha wheel. You see, I have a little something for you guys to take a look at. We have a new game to show you. I'm going to show you that in a bit. But the gacha wheel is going to change a bit so that it accommodates the new rewards. So coming up in the next few days or next few weeks, I'm going to add a new reward, some new reward sound effects. Now, it just so happens that you guys voted for Resident Evil 7 for Shadow. So in honor of that decision, I'm going to give you what you want. Scare alerts. That's right, we're going to have some scare alerts on this channel now. That's right, you have a shot to scare me. And don't hold back, please don't. Do not hold back on scaring me. Because that's what it's for. You have to use your rings though. I'm not going to give it to you for free. Unless it's the first stream, I'm going to give you scare alerts for free. Okay? But after that, you have to earn it. So you get to use exclamation mark redeem space and then a different scare alert number. You have to use your rings though. Now, where are the scare alerts from? The scare alerts, in terms of like sounds, can be from Sonic games, Mario games, or any like anime or like sound effects that you usually see or usually hear, I should say. Those are going to be your scare alerts. But what happens to like It's No Use or the Sonic or Shadow's voice mod line? Nothing. It's still here. It's still here for 100 rings. It's still here. It's just not, I have not activated yet because I want to add more. Okay, it's still here. Like, it's not going anywhere. I might change the price, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Because I love those. I love the It's No Use sound effect. I just haven't allowed you to use it yet because I'm remodeling the points. Okay? I mean, excuse me, the rings. In other news, speaking of more stuff, there's some other stuff I want to go over when it comes to rings and stuff. You earn it. You earn it by staying in the chat room, and you earn it by playing some games. Yes, we're gonna have some games. So if you guys remember in Streamlabs, you have a chance called bets. Let me see if I can load it here to be able. Oh, here we go. Betting game. So for example, I'll go back here. Oh, this has been active for a while. Complete that. There we go. So how this works is you get to place bet with your rings. Let's say that we're playing a game like Rust, which by the way is going to be a game coming back to the channel for a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna have some Rust. If you guys do not know what if Rust is, it's basically a survival game with stealing and all the good stuff that you would normally see in Wild Wild West. That's how Rust is. There is no trust in Rust. So let's just say, for example, this is not an actual betting game, but let's just say, for example, will we make it to the base without dying? If the answer is yes, okay, I'm going to add this, and then no. You use exclamation mark bet space yes or no space how much you want to wager. Okay, and then you put the loyalty pot. The winners get a share of whatever is in here, and that's how you earn rings other than rings from my streams where I give you rings, which gives me our next part, and that is a brand new game. We're gonna have a brand new game on the channel, but that is only going to depend on what game it is. So for example, I'm gonna show you guys this screen, and I'm going to give you guys this wheel. So what is this wheel, you ask? This is the challenge wheel for NBA 2K21. Originally, I was going to share it with you guys last night in a live stream, but I decided to hold off because I actually play with some games of Fortnite. So what does this do? Well, it's a challenge wheel. And for example, let's go ahead and spin this guy. And the challenge is, by the way, this is for my player. And the challenge is bounce passes only. So I can only pass the ball with the bounce pass. So once we do the bounce pass only, I can only pass that way, no matter what. And if I complete the challenge, then I'm going to give you rings. If I do not do the challenge, no rings. That's how it's gonna work. But it's only for like games that where we can do challenges for. Now, how do you spin the wheel? There's gonna be two ways. I can do it myself, or you can use exclamation mark redeem challenge. And if the game that we have in question has a challenge wheel, I'm gonna spin the wheel and you have a chance to get rings. To do a challenge, it's gonna be 100 rings, and you can win rings if I finish the challenge. And then on the game scene, we're gonna have like a little banner here on what the challenge is. For example, bounce pass only. Then I'm only gonna be putting the bounce pass thing on the board. Okay, that's for NBA 2K21. Okay, or maybe we can do a challenge where I have to do a speed run of a level in Mario. That could be a thing too. We're gonna have some fun with our new game. There was another game that I wanted to introduce, but I don't think you guys are going to enjoy it much just because it's too much to handle. But I do want to give you guys a little look at it anyway, just in case I want to go back to it. And that is called Chat versus Eggman. So on the board, on the screen here, we have a new thing here. We have a new graphic. Technically, it's one picture, so anything, I cannot change anything on this picture. But as you guys can see, we have some symbols, some words, some arrows, and Eggman and Francis and Luna. So this game would have allowed you to play a version of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, but the characters are allowed to roleplay with you guys. So if you guys, along with myself, we are controlling the right side of the board, the Francis and Luna in this case. You are trying to defeat Eggman on the left side of the board. Now the chat, no matter what happens, you guys are controlling the team on the right. Now keep in mind that Shadow does not technically have a partner because I have not officially given him one. But by default, his partner is Infinite. So Shadow and Infinite on his streams are going to be together. Francis and Luna are going to be together on their streams like tonight. So in that case, Francis and Luna will play against Eggman. On a Shadow stream, Shadow and Infinite will play against Eggman. And the same rules apply. And the way this game works is you use commands like !redeem attack. And then from there, when you attack, I'm going to have for you a wheel that looks like this. This is the damage wheel for this particular game. If I can find that if I could find, of course, the wheel damage wheel here. There's a lot of ideas I have. Some of them don't work, but some of them do. And I was thinking this is going to work. Let me just make sure that I know the damage wheel is right there. There it is. So I would have spun this thing, and let's see what it would have landed on. If you use !redeem attack with Francis and Luna, they would have dealt 7 damage to Eggman. So in this case, if this was real, Eggman would have had 8 HP left, which is not going to make a difference. Because as you can see, he has a shield. They don't. So it won't matter much. Okay? So that's how the game would work. But the reason why it's not going to work at this time is because I did intend to make it like a role-playing game where you can actually buy items. And I want to show you guys that just in case you guys are interested. And this would have been the item shop. So you would have done a command like !redeem space potion, and you can buy a potion for our characters. Or for 200 rings, you can use a shield potion. Now, I have a little proposal, which is why one of my posts was about Dungeons and Dragons. You see, technically speaking, this is Dungeons and Dragons. I just never said Dungeons and Dragons. So, what is D&D? Dungeons and Dragons is a game, board game, where you have dice. I have a wheel. No, you have dice, you know, and it's a role-playing game. So, I have a proposal. One of these streams, maybe next week, I'm going to try to introduce Dungeons and Dragons in a simple way. We're going to have initiative. We're going to have role-playing material, graph paper. We are not, however, having character sheets. I'm just going to make it as simple as possible. So that's what you can look forward to. I'm not going to release any graphic packages until I'm confident that we can actually pull off a D&D stream. Now, we're not going to pull off like what's that? Dungeons Dragons Deep. We're not going to do one of those books. We're just going to make the story up as we go. That's the joy about Dungeons and Dragons, guys. You make the story up as you go. So that's what we're gonna do for one of these streams next week. We're gonna do a Dungeons and Dragons streams, but we're going to have our characters. So Francis Luna, Amy Rose, Amy Shadow, Infinite Rouge. We have 6. Eggman 7. So we can do a Dungeons and Dragons Sonic style. And we can have graph paper, we can have initiative, we can do all that cool stuff that you normally see in a D&D game. I'm gonna move all the pieces around. You guys have nothing to do other than commands and chat and the wheel. And no, there is no D4 skill. It's gonna be all D20, and it's going to be miss hit, or a number. I don't want to start doing the whole like D6, D8, D12, D20, D100. We're just gonna have some fun with a D20. But of course, there is no shields. There is no shield damage or anything like that. We're just having some fun. So that is it. That is the roundup. I know it's long, but remember, we're here to make content. So that is our roundup for right now. We'll be back at 2:30 to 2:45 for our ROM hack with Francis and Luna. Make sure you guys check it out because it's pretty cool ROM hack. And if we do a Dungeons and Dragons stream, I'm going to announce it. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with that once we get through that. Okay, we'll see you guys at 2:45.